Hey, it's Destiny back with another video, and you're watching the Decimania channel on YouTube. Let me tell you what, guys. TNA Hard to Kill last night was a great show. It was awesome. I loved every second of it, including the stuff on the pre-show. And I got most of my predictions right. I got a couple wrong. So we're going to run down the card in a little bit. Let me just say, the response that Nick Nemeth, or Dolph Ziggler, as he was known in WWE, the response he got last night was freaking amazing. He is, I believe, officially signed with TNA. And Dana Brooke, she was in the audience last night. So she might be signed with TNA. And apparently there's more to come. There's more to come, apparently. I guess they got their Snake Eyes taping tonight. And that's good. I'm going to say right now, for $39, that show was worth it. I'm disappointed that Alex Shelley lost the title, but you know what? He had a good run. In fact, I think the only two people, or the only champions that retained their titles were ABC. They retained the tag team titles, and Chris Sabin retained the X Division championship. So, I'll talk about the show in a bit, or in a minute, but if you wouldn't mind, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, comment down below, all that fun stuff. Go check out all my other TNA related videos, and any other video you want to check out on my channel. Sorry I didn't do this earlier, I was, kind of tired, but we'll see what happens in the coming weeks with TNA officially back. No six-sided ring or anything, but we got a couple surprises last night. Other than the Dolph Ziggler one, we got, you know what, let's just run this card. Let's just run the show, review this show from the pre-show. Alright, so first up on the pre-show, we had Steve Macklin taking on Rich Swann. I predicted Macklin to win. He did. It was a good match. It was fine. Then we had AJ Francis come out with DJ Who Kid, or whatever his name is. And they wanted to present their new music video, and AJ said he had to buy his spot on the show tonight. And then Joe Hendry, I wondered where he was. He came back and played a music video that he made for AJ. And then AJ Francis and DJ Who Kid attacked him. So it looks like they'll be feuding. Kicked off our first feud of the TNA era on this pre-show. Then we had Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. They are with Moose and Alicia Edwards, and they're now calling themselves The System. Seems like a lot of factions are getting names now. And I was wrong on this prediction. I predicted that Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian would win to kick off the new era. But I was wrong. The System won here. Then we had, for the Digital Media Championship, Tommy Dreamer and Crazy Steve. Let me tell you, this match was freaking brutal. But Crazy Steve, like I predicted, won the title. And that was all for the pre-show. Now, the main card was really good too. There was a change in the tag team title match later on. So it was supposed to be the Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Rascals versus Mike Bailey and Trent Seven against ABC. But Trent Seven couldn't get a flight out, or he was having travel issues or something. So they had to replace him with Laredo Kid, which was fine. It was a good match still, but ABC did retain. I got that one wrong. I think I predicted Bailey and Trent to win, but then Trent never showed up. So let's talk about this card. They kicked it off with Ultimate X for the Knockouts. That was a good match. It was the first time I'd ever really seen a Knockouts Ultimate X match. So it was Tasha Steelz, Zaya Brookside, Alicia Edwards, Jody Threat, Giselle Shaw, and Dani Luna. Now, I predicted Jody to win. Giselle Shaw was the one that won. I didn't see that coming at all. That was a good match. And then we had PCO versus Dirty Dango. And of course, Dirty Dango got on the mic and said he hates TNA wrestling and he just hates this and hates that and blah, 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 blah. So PCO comes out. He's doing pretty good. And then he was going for the win. And I think Bravo was the one that Alpha Bravo was the one that interfered. And then Santino comes out and he's like, no, we're not doing this. And he brought Rhino out, or Rhino came out and stared down Oleg Brutus. And then Jake Something made his way to the ring. So we got a 6-man tag between Jake Something, Rhino, and PCO versus Oleg Brutus, Alpha Bravo, and Dirty Dango. I was glad they got Jake Something on the card. I was glad they got Jake on the card. I really like him. Him and Speedball Mike Bailey and Josh Alexander. Besides, the originals that are there, and a couple of the knockouts, and now Nick Nemeth. Freaking Jake Something, Speedball Mike Bailey, Steve Macklin's another one that I like, and Jake Something are some of my favorites in TNA. And we're apparently going to get more people, so. And then, Jake Something and them got the win, by the way. So, in a way, I was right. PCO did win his match. Both times. Then we had the X Division Championship match between Chris Sabin, Kushida, and El Hijo del Vikingo. And then Scott D'Amore also came out before this, and he announced the partnership between AAA and TNA. AAA being almost like the big promotion in Mexico. Rey Mysterio worked there, Chavo Jr. I'm sure all those guys worked down there at some point or another. Eddie. But this was easily my favorite match of the night. I mean, I liked everything on this card, but I think this match stole the show. There was a bunch of submission attempts by all three guys. And at one point, I think Sabin had both of them in a submission. But Saban did retain his title. I predicted Saban to retain. So I got that one right. We had the Knockouts Tag Team titles. Now this one I predicted for the pre-show. I thought we were going to get a Knockouts title match, but I didn't think it was going to be on the main card. I thought it was just going to be on the pre-show. But I'm glad they did save it for the main show because I liked what they did. I didn't know what they were going to do. I was like, who are they going to have take on MK Ultra? Because there's not really many. What, were they going to bring back Eric Young and ODB to come out and challenge them? Which would have been fun. But, no, what they did do was bring out DK. Well, the newest reincarnation of DK. It was Rosemary and Havoc, who we had not seen since the Death Dolls reincarnation when they were just Jessica and Courtney Rush. And they've been trying to find their identities and storyline, and they came back as Decay. So they won the tag team titles. I didn't make a prediction for this, but Decay are your new Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Like the women's division in WWE with the tag teams, this needs to be built up. Knockouts titles are kind of they're fine, the tag team titles, but I don't know. We had Josh Alexander taking on latest free agent from MLW, Alex Hammerstone, who was a former MLW World Heavyweight Champion. This was an okay match. It was fine. Apparently, Hammerstone made the challenge to Josh on social media. Oh, Josh's wife apparently is who the ring announcer is for these shows. I didn't recognize her voice. It sounded familiar, but I couldn't really figure out. Okay, let me reword this. I recognized her voice, but I couldn't really place it. I couldn't tell who it was. Like I'd heard it before, but it is, I think, Josh Alexander's wife. I saw him post something about it on Twitter a couple hours ago. So that's really cool. This was an okay match. Josh got the win, as I predicted he would. We had the tag team titles. Like I said, ABC retained against the Grizzled Young Veterans, the Rascals, and Mike Bailey and Laredo Kid. Knockouts Championship was won by Jordan Grace, and that makes Trinity, or Naomi, whatever you want to call her, that makes her the possibility of going to WWE stronger because she dropped the title. Then we had the main event. Moose, the Feast or Fired winner of the World Heavyweight Championship briefcase title shot, taking on the defending champion Alex Shelley, who had nearly a 6-month reign, I believe. He had it from June to January, I believe. He had it for 3 more days. He had it for exactly 6 months and 3 days. So that was the big shocker for me last year, as you've heard me talk about on the channel a couple times. I'm sure several times. But I can remember when Chris Sabin won his first one. I saw Eric Young win his. I didn't see Nick Aldis win his in person, or as it happened, but I went back and watched it. James Storms I didn't get to see because I wasn't watching TNA full time at that time. But Alex Shelley was certainly somebody who nobody really ever thought of as being a world champion. Everybody was like, oh, he's a good wrestler, but, they're never going to put the belt on him. And when they did, I think it it shut up a lot of those critics that were like, he's too small or too, whatever. Then again, some of those people were upset. I'm not going to name who, because you know who you are. Anyway, he had the system at ringside, Moose did, and then Shelley came out with Sabin and Kushida. So only one of the machine guns has their title now, and that's Chris Sabin. Let me tell you something. It was a good match. There was very little interference. There wasn't an overbooking of interference or anything. If anything, I think Moose won that match clean. I think. And then Nick Nemeth, his music hit. He came down to the ring. He stared down Moose, and he hit him with a super kick. And that's how we ended the show. Overall, it was a good pay-per-view. I was expecting at least a couple more surprises, but the ones we got were great. There's more to come in the coming weeks, I believe. And I cannot wait for this new era of TNA. I love the new TNA Plus app. If you haven't got it already, please get it. If you are a TNA fan, you will love this. And I think tomorrow will come out. We'll review a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Don't know which one yet. And I'm only going to do 3. I think I'll do one on Monday, one on Friday, and one on Saturday. I think I'll do. And then I'll do Royal Rumble predictions the Friday after next. Or after this coming Friday. But that's what we got on the channel schedule. And then, of course, the Royal Rumble review will be the day after Royal Rumble. And then we'll get on the road to WrestleMania and see what happens. We'll see if Cody finishes the story. I think he will. So that's all I've got for you today. Sorry, my throat's a little But, yep, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably do Royal Rumble 2001. Oh yeah, that's right. I've got to talk about freaking Hulk Hogan on the Thursday, the 25th. That's right. Or the 24th. That's a Wednesday, I believe. Let me check. Because I think I do Wrestle World Wednesday that day. If there's nothing in the news, we'll just focus on that episode being on the impactful career of Hulk Hogan. We'll see what happens. But otherwise, I might just have to take time and do that on like Friday or something. Or the day before. But anyway, I'll see you all later. Have a good rest of your night. And what did you guys think of Hard to Kill? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you enjoy it? What are your guys' thoughts, TNA fans that are subscribed? Leave your comments down below. They are greatly appreciated. And any subscriptions or likes or anything like that is appreciated as well. So, you guys have a safe night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.